pleasure to introduce to you the man of the hour, Tony.
Hello and welcome back to Ballhawk Blab. At the gates. My bad. Ballhawk Blab was well, I'm not saying it's dead. Is it dead yet, David?
I don't think it would be dead. I think it's like Ted Williams is just like in a chronological, like frozen state. Cryogenically frozen. I kind of say that's how Ballhawk Blab is right now.
Yeah, Ballhawk Blab, like Ted Williams's head. It gets kicked around and disrespected.
But one of the all-time bests.
Yes. We had more hits than Ted Williams.
Probably true.
Yeah.
First baseman number 5.
So yeah, as you might be able to tell, Freddie Freebagger is at bat here in Truist Park in Atlanta.
We are just inside the we're probably outside of the Atlanta city limits, but we are still technically Atlanta here. If we cross the street, I don't think we are anymore.
It's a complicated thing. And before we get too up our own asses here, how about we discuss our feelings about SunTrust, nay, Truist Park. David, would you like me to go first or you?
Why don't you go first, because you're the guest.
But you're the guest on this show.
That's true. Why don't we both share one idea, and then we'll conversate about it. And we'll just talk through it. Or we'll do it together.
Okay.
Yes.
I think that we have discussed this a little bit, so sorry about that, guys. But I think the one thing that we can agree on that would be a good topic that kind of leads us into our overall rating of the stadium would be, well, not the tomahawk chop or the chant, but it is the lack of anything extremely unique or characteristic that makes this field stand out. Would you agree?
Yeah, and that's what I always think about this place. It's what if I leave here as a visitor, it's like, what did I really remember as being special? And I always search for an answer because I never feel there's really anything special about this place.
And I think it does have special things, but it's not unique because the shopping area is nice, but like what we were discussing before, what happens if you showed up early to a game, bought a bunch of stuff, and let's say you didn't drive to the game because you knew that parking around here is kind of mayhem, and you decided to Uber. That means with their bag policy now, you can't bring in anything. Would you say that that's a little bit weird to have a shopping place that you can't then bring stuff to the ballpark?
It would discourage me from shopping. So, I mean, I don't really understand why you're going to say, hey, come and shop before the game and buy things, but don't take them into the stadium. Why don't you just hide them in the bushes and then get them after the game?
Yeah, put them in your car where everyone knows that you have stuff, and we'll see if you get broken into.
Yeah. But my biggest issue with the stadium itself, though, is I don't care about naming rights because I have resigned my fact that there's probably not going to be many more Fenway Parks that are named after just families or certain areas of town anymore.
Or even after the team.
Or the team. But the fact that Hank Aaron's name is not on the stadium in some way, shape, or form is
the only good part is that right now Hank Aaron, his number is literally in center field, but unfortunately that took him dying in order for him to be basically emblazoned on the field.
As you could tell, something very disappointing just happened.
They were disappointed about the Hank Aaron thing. Yeah, even if they did almost like what Oakland did with Rickey Henderson Field at O.co or whatever the hell they're calling it now, or Ringworm Stadium, I think.
Yeah, Ringworm Stadium, probably.
Like, even if they did Hank Aaron Field at Truist Park, that's something.
And I think part of it is that Truist paid this money to put the name on the stadium, which I completely get. And what they were saying was, even if we put Hank Aaron's name at the end, people are going to still call it the Hank. Which, all right, that's fine. It deserves to be the Hank because as much as Hank Aaron has meant to Atlanta, both as a baseball town, but also as a city, and what Hank Aaron has done for baseball, especially in minority communities, he deserves that. So, Hank, put his name on the stadium.
We're taking a pause for the freeze. That craziness that you just heard was the freeze being beat.
The freeze went down. Like in a loss.
Leave it for the Minnesotan to come to town for the freeze to be beaten.
The freeze has had a rough go of it this season, though. I think that's his 4th or 5th loss.
I think he pulled a hammy, maybe.
As long as he didn't pull his groin.
So, something that is totally unrelated, and we'll get back to the love of Truist Park. Pulling a hammy. Can a vegan pull a hammy?
I think they can.
Or do they have to call it something different?
I was trying to think of what else it might be, though. Like maybe they
pull a tofu-y?
Yeah. But that might be like hurting a toe, though. Well, what if they pulled I don't know. Maybe they pulled their soy.
If you pull your soy, you might get arrested. Especially if you're doing it in public.
The only time I have soy is in public, too, so.
Speaking of soy, how about that drink?
I'm still tasting it. And that's not a good thing. Because it kind of tasted like,
ass.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what an ass tastes like, but.
Oh, you know.
I'm going to say that I don't. And I'm going to claim that I don't.
Why are you winking? With your butthole. The silence is overwhelming and damning. So back to the bashing of Truist, SunTrust, and not Turner Field. I think that the lack of uniqueness, it definitely looks nice. Like it's built nicely and it has nice things around.
It's like buying a home in a subdivision.
Yeah, this is the McMansion of ballparks.
Like, cause yeah, it's nice, but I mean, it looks like the one that's next door to it.
Yep.
But they all look the same.
And they copied it, and it's like, oh, but it's a different color. But really, we know that they took, like, the center field area is basically Colorado, but miniaturized.
But I kind of call it like Colorado mated with Minnesota, because yes, it has the trees, but it's kind of small and kind of pushed forward like Minnesota.
And Minnesota had to get rid of their freaking trees because, I don't know. Obviously, you can have trees in the batter's eye.
They were probably making too much oxygen or something.
That's true.
Yeah.
So what else would you like to pivot off of? Because I think we've covered that it's not unique. What else stands out about Truist? Maybe a positive. How about we go back to a positive?
It's kind of like, because I like to sandwich like negative things with like good news, bad news, and then wrap it up with some good news. I don't know if we start with good news, but.
So what's the good news?
I mean, there's a cow wearing a baseball hat over there.
That is very true. Although I will say, and I'll leave the rating out of it, but just know that the new Texas ballpark is also disappointing in my eyes. But I will say they take the edge over a giant cow with a giant crate or box of Oatly milk. That's right. In Texas, they have a vegan milk big crate thing in their center field area.
How do you milk an oat?
I think you just put you put oats on teats.
Oh, teats on oats.
No, you just put oats on breasts, and then you just
Number 27.
yeah. So basically, it's like cereal,
Oh,
breakfast in bed,
there you go.
and that's how babies are made too. So what is that really your best thing about Truist, or do you have a thing that saves it from being a complete failure? I will go, and maybe it's something that you can pivot off of or agree with. That area behind home plate that has the Hall of Fame is actually, it could be bigger, but the way that they did it, especially for just being able to walk through, is very tastefully done.
I would agree with that. Like, you don't have to go into a special room to experience the history of the Braves, not just in Atlanta, but from Boston to Milwaukee to Atlanta. So that part I do like.
It's like a nice high overview of like getting your toes wet at a Hall of Fame without having to be like a hardcore Braves fan.
Yeah. And then the big bronze statue of Hank as well is nice. The 755 made out of bats.
Yep.
I think from the actual playing area surface is that the area in front of the chop house with their unique type seating where they have high top tables that you can put your drinks in and keep your drinks cold. You can charge your phone at your seats. I like that. That is unique. I don't know of much other places in Major League Baseball that have things like that. I'm sure there are.
Agreed. And if you can hear that in the background, that is a small local artist from Atlanta, and I believe they're called Oot Cats or something.
The Oot Cats. They're actually playing a small concert as we speak.
I wish.
I think it's being piped in.
Dude, if Andre 3000 was around, I would be by him instead of by the Braves.
That's understandable. He's kind of cool. He's a cool cat. A cool cat.
He oozes cool.
Like, does he need a
like oat milk. He oat milks cool.
Oh, oat milk's cool. Okay.
So now that we've said our positive, if you were to rank this in the 30 baseball parks, or however many that you've been to, you said about 20, where would it land in those rankings? And then if you were to have to give it a 1 through 10, what would you give it?
I normally group baseball parks in thirds. Like, I think you have the top 10, and then you have a middle 10, and then there's a bottom 10. And I would put Truist Park probably towards the middle of the second third of stadiums. So
I was actually going to say
11 to 20 or 11 to 19-ish area.
I was going to say the lower part of the mid-third. So yeah.
So, and I think a lot of that is just its newness. I can't.
Yeah, I mean, if Oakland and Tampa Bay, if they either move or get new stadiums, all of a sudden you have two of probably the bottom that will go up. And if you have other stadiums that do upgrades or, God forbid, have to get a new one, like all of a sudden Truist is only falling, right?
Yeah. I mean, the thing though is, as not as good of stadiums as Tampa and Oakland are, Tampa's not as bad as it seems.
Agreed.
It's not good.
I will fight on the hill that for what it is and where it's located, the Trop gets shit on more than it deserves.
I would probably put it in the middle of the bottom third. Like in the 24-ish range.
Especially because if you went down to Tampa, odds are, if you stay there for a week, you will probably get a few days where it is thunderstorming. And do you really want games canceled or delayed all the time because of thunderstorms? No. So you probably want a dome. And trust me, I've been to a very, very bad dome in the Metrodome. The Trop is much better than the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome.
Yeah.
Third baseman.
And I think Oakland gets a bad rap too. Again, there's a lot of garbage in and around it. I saw a man who thought that a hallway was a restroom.
I'm sorry about that. How many times do I have to apologize?
They do sneak attack you. I'm just gonna try to I'm not putting blame on you for that.
Hey, at least I didn't confuse your mouth with a garbage or with a restroom.
That's true. Because that we might not be friends if that were the case.
I would agree. I don't think that I could look you in the eye if I did that.
I would not want you to look me in the eye if you were doing that.
Also, so going back to Oakland,
sorry.
weirdly enough, because I didn't want to forget this, they have also made, I'm doing air quotes, upgrades to that ballpark. And really that was to fit more seating, especially for football when they had it. And unfortunately, when they did that, I actually think that they made it worse because it used to have a decent view of the hills and all that kind of stuff in the background. And
I would say it's not as comparable of what the hills are in Dodger Stadium, but in the same neighborhood. I think if they had never built Mount Davis, that Oakland would still probably be Oakland would be in the middle third of stadiums, I think.
Yep, it would just be an old stadium that probably needs a renovation.
Right. But what I think saves Oakland in my mind is their fans are a bit crazy.
Yes.
And it adds a lot to the atmosphere.
And that was the last series that I went to for the Twins, and Oakland fans not only traveled and showed up, but they were dressed up like crazy, and much respect for the Oakland fans, because it's not like you can really get attached to one of their players because odds are they're not going to sign a long-term contract and they're going to get flipped, but they still love their team.
Yeah. So I think Oakland gets a bad rap. I mean, for me, it's like Chicago White Sox. It's hard for me to find much there to really, other than their scoreboard. It's hard for me to latch on to much there.
So instead of rating this stadium 1 through 10, I just realized that I have a teacher with me. Give me a grade for this ballpark.
Do you want a number grade, a letter grade, or
a letter grade?
A letter grade, okay. I would give Truist Park a C minus. No, I'd give it a C. But one of those C's like, hey, you're an honor roll student. I'm very disappointed with your grade.
That's exact, because when you said that, I was like, that's actually a little bit too nice, but then I also was like, I can't really go much lower because it is like decent. But yeah, you're right, like I had so much more expectations for you, and you're better than that. And I think that kind of encapsulates this C, is that it's a disappointing C.
Yeah, or I mean, it's a straight A student getting a B minus.
Like, a disappointing C, like the Bering C? I don't know of like a C that's actually disappointing.
That's a Russian C. So.
Caspian C? That's
Caspian,
yeah, because that's drying up and not technically a C, I don't think, so it's bad.
Is it Dead C?
Ooh, Dead Sea is also evaporating and
it's
going
so
away.
salty.
Although I have that on my list of places to go to for my trip.
Yeah, like it's salty like angry. It's not salty like angry.
Yeah, it's saltier than anything that you could make with your body.
Sounds like a challenge.
Would you like to put it in a plastic bag like we discussed before?
My tears? Gypsy tears?
A different, more viscous liquid. Your glue. The essence of David.
The glue.
That's what you should call that.
The glue that holds me together.
In a way, the glue that holds generations together.
Like we are the world.
Yeah. Through time.
Keep smiling, keep shining.
Should we end it? It's already been 20 minutes here. Should we end it and take a pause and then come back on Saturday with our road trip?
We could take a pause, or if other things just pop up randomly, we could pick up the discussion. This is a never-ending discussion, I feel.
I think that sounds good. I think we'll pause here, and then if nothing else happens, there will be a post-game recap that we do on Saturday, along with a road trip.
I was going to say a special surprise. Maybe even like when you're watching this, you may have already seen something else before you hear this.
Yeah. How can I not give it away? If I were to butcher the places that we're going, it would be the upper and lower part of Carl's loin.
Yes.
Because it kind of almost looks like that, right? Like the word?
The loin, yeah.
Carl's loin, eh?
Yeah, because like it gets really up in there. That's a long fly ball.
And
it's a splashdown. We had a splashdown. Ryan Reynolds.
Not Ryan Reynolds,
Not
but
Ryan.
Brian Reynolds.
That sexy beast.
Deadpool went yard.
Right into the pool.
Whoa. Deadpool, dead center, in the pool. Dang. That's a good place to end it.
Go write it in your notebook.
Good night. Unpause. We are here in the airport, Radisson, the Radisson.
The Radisson.
And we're going to play a game. David, what's it called?
It's called Would You Radish?
And how does it work?
I think what we're going to do, it's multifaceted, I believe, because we're going to do some rounds of Would You Radish, like, would you radish, like, it be cold or hot? But a little more in-depth than that.
Yeah.
Because
so your standard would you rather questions.
Yes. But we're also we're going to, like, sprinkle in some, like, would you radish, like, live in a haunted house or a jailhouse?
Yeah.
And based off of what the top did we decide to do that?
No, baseball.
Baseball.
Baseball
yes.
trivia.
Yes, baseball trivia. And we're going to sprinkle in some baseball trivia on that as well.
Yep. After 11 questions, we throw in a baseball trivia. And if we get it wrong,
then you have to eat a radish.
That's why it's called Would You Radish,
yes.
Because it's mainly would you rather with a trivia question with radishes.
Yes.
So with that said, I have to unlock my phone, and we'll start off with a freebie.
Oh, okay.
This doesn't even count.
It's just a practice.
This is all the practice.
Make sure we know what we're doing.
To know if we know how would you rathers work. Would you rather fly to all 30 ballparks in a season but have to stay in the dingiest of dive hotels?
Yes.
Or drive to all 30 ballparks in a season and get to stay in Westin Suites?
I think that's a rather easy one for me, because I've pretty much driven to every stadium already. And like when you drive to stadiums, let's say your body doesn't really like doing that very much.
Yeah.
So it holds a lot of moisture in its crevices.
That grow radishes?
Yes, in the dark. So being able to wash out those areas is very helpful, so you don't get sick off of your own stench. So I don't mind driving, and it'd be great to be able to have a nice, posh.
With a comfy bed.
Yes.
So I think we're both agreeing.
Yeah.
Drive to all 30 ballparks.
Yes. That I feel would be be fun.
Yeah. Now, how do you want to do this? Do you want me to tell my 10 and then you tell your 1, or you tell your 1 and then I tell my 10?
Let me start.
Okay.
And then you go with the ones that you have.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'll start off like a family-friendly question first. So that way,
family-friendly-ish.
Yeah, like that way, if we have any kids listening, then they can say, "Oh, okay," and their parents would be like, "No, this one's okay."
Yeah.
But then they know, like...
And then at the end,
they'd be like, no, we need to cut this off.
Yeah.
So, all right, the first one I have. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Would you rather have perpetually wet socks or a pebble in your shoe that you couldn't find? Like you couldn't find ever.
I'm going to say pebble in my shoe just because I used to do that all the time as a kid. I had pebbles in my shoe and I didn't care.
Yeah. I'd probably have to go with the pebble in my shoe also, just because wet socks.
Yeah.
Like when you take your wet socks off at the end of the day of them being completely wet.
They smell nice.
Your feet
It's fermented.
Fermented funk.
Yeah.
But just the feeling of that after just even 5 minutes.
Plus your foot gets all wrinkly and gross.
That's kind of fun.
I guess he's changing his mind.
No. I don't.
Okay, good.
The feeling outweighs the fact that you're like, hey, look, it's an old man's foot. I have an old man's foot.
That's what you want to tell yourself.
Yeah, an old man's foot.
Would you rather have baseball change its rules to kickball rules, or have baseball change its rules to involve ice skates and ice for all players?
Can I ask some clarifying questions?
Yes.
With this, all right.
So it's for the hockey one. It's basically regular baseball but on ice.
Okay. So my first clarification question: when you say kickball rules, meaning I can throw the ball at people as they're running and they're going to be out.
And you're actually using a kickball too. So it's basically you're just playing kickball versus playing hockey on ice.
Okay. So I have a regular bat, but we're using the red utility ball as...
Use your foot.
No, but...
Oh.
Okay, so no bat.
Correct.
Kicking the ball.
So kickball.
Okay. Because I thought we were going to play with a regular baseball, but we could throw the ball at the people as they're running on the bases and they'd be out.
That would be hella dangerous.
It would be. But you had to hit them below the shoulders. Okay. So
Have to hit
we're
'em in
playing
the
a
crotch.
kickball.
Yes.
Now, if we're playing baseball on ice, what are the overrun base rules? Or there's no overrunning second or third?
No overrunning. That makes it hard.
Yeah, I would go with the baseball on ice.
Me too.
Because I think you could add a lot of flair to it. Like
full contact a little bit too.
Yeah.
Break up a double play by checking.
Yes. You could do some pirouettes as you.
That would be an epic home run celebration. Yeah. The guy's like doing a whole routine.
Yeah, with a triple axel thrown in there.
I kind of like it now.
Yeah.
I like it more than what I did before.
And then if you have a beef with the third baseman, and he's down there ready to tag you, you could throw some ice up in his face, some snow.
I like it.
So I think there's a lot of possibilities baseball on ice.
But not theatrical, like Disney on Ice. That could be the in-between.
I think you could, just to bring a little more flair to the game itself too, though.
Have guys get dressed up?
With feathers and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you rather get Doug Fistered or have a Dick Trickle?
Oh.
And by Dick Trickle, I mean it's leaky the entire time. It's not just gushing, but it's a slow, constant drip like a faucet. Oh. Or just get Doug Fistered once.
I think it would just be Doug Fister, because it as traumatizing as it might be, at least it's done and over.
Yeah.
Dick Trickle is.
That's permanent. That's forever.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, we just got to go.
Plus, you don't know how much, and you don't really want to piss your bed every night, right?
I wouldn't. No, I would think just.
I'm gonna say that I'm gonna get Dick Trickled though, just because I at some point I need to diverge from your opinions.
Yeah.
This is one that I hope we don't have to actually know the answer to.
If we do,
we've made poor life decisions.
Yeah, there wasn't a good choice that happened right before. Why is Doug Fister here? Oh no.
Oh God. Let's hope he uses his pitching hand and not the glove hand, because you don't want a glove going in there too.
I know, definitely not. but it might be a little more sanitary if his.
I don't think they use latex gloves in the field.
Oh, that kind of. You meant his baseball glove.
Would you rather get paid Albert Pujols money, never win a playoff game, and have replacement player stats, or get paid your current salary and win at least one World Series and be a potential Hall of Famer? So rich and don't do shit,
Yeah.
or poor and borderline Hall of Fame?
I think, like, wanting to be famous and rich and all that stuff side of me says that, but when you actually put yourself in the position of a professional athlete, that is sort of run by your competitive nature and like your desire to win. So I would say like my current salary and like a great career of wins. And
I think I would try to do that and then pivot it after the end and write like a book about it or sell it as a movie.
Oh,
Because then you could make money afterwards.
good
That's a way to think outside the box.
It is. Didn't think of that part of it. But
But
that does make sense.
Albert Pujols is getting Albert Pujols money with replacement player stats.
It's true too, and has been for a while.
Yeah. Would you rather be a position player who strikes out a guy, or be a pitcher who gets a hit?
Definitely a position player like Anthony Rizzo struck out Freddie Freeman, because pitchers get hits.
Yep.
Like even if a pitcher were to get a home run, as exciting as that is, I think it's still more rare. Or, I mean,
We should do the stats. Let's get Elias on the phone.
Elias.
The Sports Bureau.
Oh, I thought you meant like somebody we
Just
knew.
a guy named Elias.
Yeah. Like
Let's get him on the phone. Call him. 9117.
Niner in there. Yeah, like I'd rather be, because I mean, position players pitching is becoming more common to try to save bullpens from having to pitch useless innings.
I want to be La Tortuga and strike out a guy. That'd be cool.
If you did that, would you run around the bases like he ran on that scoring play?
No, I think what you got to do is actually flip your glove
Yeah.
instead of flipping your bat,
Yeah. What about flipping the rosin bag?
or flip your hat, or just strip naked.
Ooh.
Strike out. Ball 2. Would you rather be on a cross-country road trip with no GPS and unlimited gas/power, so meaning you don't have to stop anywhere for refueling?
Okay.
Or would you rather be on a cross-country road trip with a GPS and an electric vehicle that only has a 250-mile range?
Definitely no GPS and unlimited gas. Because I think some of the most unique and interesting places I've ever come around were places I got lost in going somewhere. As long as like no like as long as
I'm with you.
I'm just gonna pull in a gas station and say, "Can you send me back to the interstate, please?"
Yep.
And they're like,
You can talk to people.
Yeah. And then I mean I'm lost, whatever.
Just don't break down in like Utah or something.
Because then the Mormons will come and get you.
Yep. Then you have to join their church.
Yeah. Which I mean,
Them's the rule.
I don't have anything against Mormons.
Yeah.
They're fine people.
Yeah.
As long as like what do they offer? Like me some sister wives.
As long as they're not your sister,
I don't have a sister.
then I think you're good. Would you rather have a national park named after you or a major league ballpark named after you?
Oh. This is a tough one. Just because I don't know if I really have a preference.
I want the national park because ballparks, the naming rights only last for so long, and so do the ballparks themselves.
Yeah, I think like if the stadium was going to be named after me and forever, I would probably go with the baseball stadium.
Like, if it was like instead of Fenway Park, like Welch Park.
Or like Dave.co. Or just
At
like,
Ringworm Stadium.
Yeah. Like throw a little advertisement at the end of it too.
To your own website.
Yeah.
So are you going ballpark then?
I'm gonna go ballpark on that one.
We finally diverged again.
Yeah.
Would you rather have 24-hour daylight or 24-hour darkness? And it's not permanently, but just which one do you want to experience first? Or next, in case you've experienced it.
I would go 24-hour darkness because
Right there, brother.
High five.
Very nice.
Like I enjoy sleeping, and I don't think I'd sleep very well, even with blackout curtains. But I think a nightscape is a lot more appealing to me than a dayscape. Like
Plus, usually 24-hour darkness means that you're somewhere super north or super south that you can see the borealis. And that
is
just
there a southern borealis?
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of it. Is that different? Is it like?
It's not
red?
aurora. It's the same colors, but I forgot what it's called. One of our listeners is going to have to comment below.
I hope it's. I hope it's. I hope it's someone who's nice who answers that one.
Mm-hmm.
No.
No.
Like, do you think they're gonna say you idiots?
Yeah, you should have known, and they're probably from the southern equator, so they actually have to play this video
Backwards.
in reverse.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's
They
all
would-
gibberish.
Mhm.
Kind of like the toilets in Australia flushing in reverse. Simpsons taught me that, so it's got to be true.
I have
The
heard-
Coriolis effect.
Yeah, I learned that on Mr. Wizard back when I was a kid, and he took a kid on a little carousel, and he spun it the opposite direction, and he made the water go down the drain the other way.
That's wild.
Mm.
The next one, put your children to sleep now. It's going to get very racy.
Oh,
Would you rather pitch naked or bat naked?
oh,
Just once. So
like only
you just
one pitch.
not even one pitch, but just like you get one batter to pitch to, or you get one at bat.
I would have to say pitch.
Yes.
Yes, because if there was a play I had to slide, it could get a bit dicey.
Well, I also think that the likelihood of a pitcher getting hit with the ball compared to a batter
Yeah,
is not nearly as much. Batters get hit all the time, pitchers don't.
right.
And you'd still have a glove. You don't have to pitch like without the one form of protection.
Would it be a skin-colored glove?
It'd be flesh. It'd be
Flesh
made
tone,
out of
flesh tone, yeah.
it. No, not it'd be human flesh.
Like, oh,
Yeah,
yeah, like
from
from
Eddie
Lord of
Gein.
the Flies, or not Lord of the Flies, but Silence of the Lambs.
Yep.
Interesting.
Would you rather umpire a World Series or be a base coach for the losing team in the World Series?
I definitely would probably say the base coach of a losing team.
I want to umpire.
Do you?
Yeah.
But what if you had like Angel Hernandez on your crew and he made like the worst call?
It wouldn't happen because he can't officiate in the World Series.
But what if like there's a court injunction from after he sued MLB?
They already said.
I know they did, but
So Angel Hernandez Jr. got hired by MLBPA,
or somebody just as bad, not maybe just as bad.
but someone who gets hit by a car and forgets how to umpire but still has to umpire.
Yeah, like they have no business being.
Or they did a Freaky Friday.
Or like there's a situation in the what was that?
I'd
World
still
Series? The
umpire.
84-85 World Series with the Royals and the Cardinals,
Oh,
and the
yeah.
umpire completely missed a play at first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still would rather be an umpire because you could technically, you're not going to win or lose, but I think that you get the recognition of it. That's basically your World Series championship is to umpire that, whereas to lose it might be.
So let's go down
Worse.
another like a short other route.
Do you think maybe they get a World Series ring from the winning team as a thank you?
Oh, good. Sure. Oh. So. And then you get where'd you get that World Series? I was the umpire.
Yeah.
All right. If you were an umpire though, like would you wear the current? I guess this is a would you question. that I just came up with. Would you wear the current in your home plate umpiring paraphernalia, or would you want to wear like one of the big balloon chest protectors?
I mean, balloon just because it's ridiculous, but for safety measures, if I'm in the league for a long time, probably just regular.
But just the one.
The one time?
Game. Yeah.
Then I don't even want that. I want to dress up like the late 1800s, basically in my suit, and call it from a ways away and just, basically get plucked out of the stands to umpire a game.
Who, me? I'd like to wear the big balloon chest protector. Because I think if if someone came out to argue balls and strikes, I could just kind of shove them with it.
What about, they have those bubbles that you can be in?
Oh.
Why don't we put umps in bubbles?
Yeah.
Problem solved.
There we go.
So the last one before we do the first Would You Radish. Would you rather have to manage your entire career for your most hated MLB team, or have to play your entire career for your most hated MLB team?
I'd rather play for my most hated MLB team, simply for the fact I don't really know if I could come up with one. Like, I don't have a team that I just flat out don't like. So like in my head, I'm kind of, I would say the team I would most not like would be the city that I would be like, I'm gonna be here.
Careful, you're gonna offend someone.
I know I could, which I'm kind of trying to think about what that city might be. I don't know. That might be a question we come back to at some point. What city would you not want to play in?
Topeka, Kansas.
Major League Baseball.
Yep. That's where the A's are going to move to.
That could be an interesting one to come back to. All right. So
I think
Lightning.
I would rather manage for my most hated, because if I hated them that much, then I could manage them poorly. But if you throw a game as a player, you're not going to last long. And if I'm in the bigs, I want to try. So Radish?
Radish.
Where'd you Radish? What team did Babe Ruth play for before joining the Boston Red Sox? Was it the Boston Braves, the Cincinnati Reds, the New York Yankees, or the Baltimore Orioles?
It was the
Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah.
Correct. We don't have to radish.
No, we don't. Okie doke. Is it a...
It's a you.
It's a my volley. All right. Would you rather audibly pass gas with no smell every time that you walked into a room? Or no, every time that you greeted somebody new. Not every time you walked into a room. But you met somebody. Would you rather audibly pass gas without a smell, or would you rather have extremely bad body odor that everybody could smell, but they couldn't figure out where it was coming from?
This is very close to a question that I had. I think I would still audibly fart. Because the good people, like my friends and stuff, it would just be fun.
Yeah. But this is when you meet somebody new for the first time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if they can't get by it, they weren't going to be my friend anyways.
Good answer.
How about you?
I think I like that answer, but I would rather go with the body odor, only because if I
like France?
Huh?
You like France? Is that why?
Yes, we miss you. I don't think I could stop laughing to get anything else out.
Which is great. Which would mean that you're having fun every day.
Which is true, but there becomes a time when laughing starts to hurt.
Question.
Yes, sir.
If you meet someone new in your dreams, do you fart in your dreams and in real life, or just one or the other?
You fart in real life as well in the dream.
So potentially at night it could just be an orchestra of
yeah, it's
an auditorium and you're giving a speech, all of a sudden it's a massive blowout.
It's a wedding greeting line. It's a greeting line.
Machine gun.
Yeah. So I would probably go the body odor because like I could kind of probably play that off, but I also think that it's like you talked
But
about.
at some point, people are going to get wise, and even if they couldn't tell it was you to begin with, if they're around you enough, they'll be like, the common denominator is always that guy.
But I think the discussion, like you said, like the people hearing the fart would be great laughter. But I think just watching people trying to figure out where the smell is coming from, when you know, is great drama. as
So
well.
what you're saying is that these two mythical people should get married, because then there's odor and a sound,
and
but then they just blame it on the person making the sound.
Who did that?
I like that one, and I hope it's. I can't tell if it's on this one, but it. When we get to it, you'll be like,
I see where your mind is at.
Would you rather go to the Hall of Fame as a member of your favorite team but no World Series win? Or would you rather win a World Series as a manager of your favorite team but no Hall of Fame?
I think that goes back to the competitiveness. Like once you reach that level, that the level of competitiveness that you have would be the World Series. Like I think
So you want to be the manager?
yeah. Because I've come close to winning a state championship before, and I know the disappointment in not knowing, like being one game short, and knowing that you probably would have won that next game, like still sort of eats at me.
Yes, but at the same time, at least it's a team sport, so you know it's not just on you. It could be on someone else. It could be on Bill Buckner, which that would still suck.
Yeah.
But at least you still put together like a Wade Boggs for the Red Sox type of career where, yeah, you never won one, but you put together a damn fine career. Sure, he won one with the Yankees, but we're just thinking, or even like a Tony Gwynn. He put together a hell of a career, got into the Hall of Fame.
Got one series away from winning.
They were only 4 games away from winning the World Series.
Even though they really never showed much competitiveness in that World Series.
Would you rather have Ichiro's slap hitting ability or have Greg Maddox's control?
I would go with Ichiro because
I'm gonna be different.
Oh, you should be different.
I like when we can be different.
Because I think the way that I've played baseball is similar to Ichiro's style. That I'm a kind of
You're dominant?
Yes, like I go and I
You have
say,
the hits record in all of the world.
Pete Rose be damned. Yeah, but like
You weren't a power guy?
No,
Me either.
I was more like speed, like reliant on my speed and use speed to be successful.
Like the speed that you told me you drank?
Yeah, the liquid speed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would go definitely with the Ichiro-ness.
I want to be Maddox and pitch to you then, because that'd be a hell of a matchup.
I think there would be a helmet tip at one point. Because there might be a long at bat that lasted like 9 pitches, 10, 12, 15 pitches.
Well, actually, Ichiro is also pretty funny. I was going to say Greg Maddox is a character, but Ichiro also is...
And, like, sneaky funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it. Would you rather break down on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere and lose a day on a road trip, or have your flight delayed and lose a day in your travels at a layover city? So it's not like a city that you're planning on being in.
I would say, now I'm just on the side of the road, and yeah, I would go with missing a flight or delay because
Me too.
the level of anxiety being on the middle of nowhere and not really knowing when am I going to be saved?
And also, even if you do get to a hotel, what's that hotel like? What are the people like? If we were where we were earlier in Deep Woods, Georgia.
Well, it's funny you should say that because there was one time that I was in the very, very southern tip of Texas, returning from spring break to Indiana, which is a 24-hour straight drive. And one of the vehicles we had sprung a leak in the gas tank. We had 2 vehicles at least. But a rock flew up and punctured the gas tank, and gas was pouring out of it. And this is in somewhere between Brownsville, Texas, and Sam Houston University. Down Houston-ish, but south of Houston.
Yep.
So we had to pull over to a gas station where there was a police officer dressed in blue jeans, just sitting out. And we said, "Sir, do you know whether there's any place that we can get our vehicle fixed?" And he said, "No." So we found a motel similar to the one that you're describing. And when we pull in, there's cats fornicating in the parking lot. Some of the people in our traveling party got attacked by ducks.
So this was just a city that's messing with you. They're like, get a load of these guys. They're not from around here.
Pretty much so. It was. I'll remember the town before too long. But we pulled into this motel called the Dorsey Inn in Garrison, Texas, and their carpet was patched together. Carpet samples that were patched together was the carpet of the floor. There was a beer can under the bed. One of the rooms had a decent number of dead cockroaches. So some of us decided just to sleep in the car.
Probably wise.
And then the next morning we would take the van to get looked at. Well, we all survived our night at the Dorsey Inn. And when we returned to the vehicle, the officer that had told us that there was no repair shop had told us this as we were pretty much parked at a repair shop. So, having been stuck in the middle of nowhere before, while it's a great story, it was not a pleasant one.
It's not one you want to repeat.
No, I've done that before.
And I would agree with you, because if you lose it around an airport, airports are in major metropolitan areas, you know that you're going to get a decent night's sleep still.
Yeah. And still be able to experience something, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, not that staying in Garrison, Texas was not an experience. It was an experience.
But there's probably better experiences that you can have.
Definitely, yeah.
This one is one of my favorites. And both are magically sanitary. Keep that in mind.
Okay.
Would you rather poop chocolate and have to eat it, or pee lemonade and have to drink it?
All right. Is the lemonade warm?
Yes.
Or can it be cold?
It is warm.
Like
It's
body
like whatever
temperature.
you come out
Body
at,
temperature.
which means that body temperature chocolate would mean it's probably very runny.
Okay. So it wouldn't come out like a Baby Ruth.
No.
Okay. But even though it's still, mine still comes out of me like that, like
Do you?
like what I disposed of in the toilet water.
Right, but I'm
Whatever.
just saying, like, if all you had was chocolate though,
Yeah.
and it was sitting in your colon,
Yeah.
it's probably gonna come out liquid, because chocolate melts much before 98.6.
Milk, lemonade, around the corner chocolate's made.
Quite literally.
Except I don't like milk.
Well, you have nipples.
I do. I might try to milk myself later. I'm gonna have to go with the lemonade.
I'm going chocolate just because I like warm chocolate more than warm lemonade.
See where you're coming from. Is the
No,
lemonade-
don't bring coming from in this.
Oh boy. Oh.
All right, kids. Hopefully you're still listening to this. We'll go on to the next one so your parents don't ground
You
you.
can take the earmuffs off now.
Well, not quite. Well,
Oh.
yes, but then put them back on
We'll
later.
give you a warning.
Would you rather go to one World Series game every year, or go to the All-Star game and all the events every year?
I'm gonna, is it a clinching?
No, it's just a random
Just a
World
random
Series
one?
game, so you don't know if you're getting 1 through 7.
Okay. I would choose a World Series game. Even randomly. Because I guess randomly you're going to get a clinching game at some point.
Yep.
Hopefully. And the All-Star game, to me, I think, while it is exciting to have all of the stars there, like, how exciting is the actual game? But I know you said all the other events, too.
Because the Home Run Derby would be fun. And also, I like the idea of All-Star game because it doesn't repeat stadiums very often.
Mm-hmm.
So, basically, I'm guaranteeing that I get one trip every year at a different location.
That's true, too. I just, like, from my standpoint, like, I enjoy the excitement and, like, nervousness of, like, all right, even if this isn't a clinching game, these two teams are going to win the World Series.
Like my Game 5 that I went to this last year when it was Brett Phillips' weird walk-off.
Yes.
That probably might be the best game that I've ever witnessed and will ever witness.
And I think there's so much tension even in non-clinching games.
Yep.
That like you don't even have to be a fan of any of the teams. Like you still get sick to your stomach in a fun way.
Yep.
And then like with Brett Phillips, I've met him multiple times, and he's one of the coolest guys I've ever met.
Most unsuspecting hero.
To where like I feel so much happiness for him.
Yep.
Because
He's
I know
goofy.
Because I know how good of a person he is too.
Yep. Like he's always laughing and smiling.
Yes, even with his crazy ass laugh.
Would you rather the silent He's like a dinosaur that's making
lemonade?
Dinosaur. Wow. Really rubbing at the lemonade.
I almost said, let's tag him in this and let him listen to it. And then it took me down that street.
He might like that. Maybe there's another dinosaur listening to this podcast that we can hook him up with.
I love Brett Phillips.
He's a national treasure, honestly. Would you rather get a front row seat with unlimited number of friends and heckle Angel Hernandez every game of his career? Or would you rather be able to fire Angel Hernandez, but only after it cost your favorite team the World Series?
Oh, this is probably the hardest one. Because heckling makes me very uncomfortable. I don't mind heckling when it is in all a good nature.
And clever?
Yes. I don't think you can heckle Angel Hernandez and it be in good fun.
Right. You're punching down, not punching up.
Yes. But at the same time, you never know when your team is going to have an opportunity to play for or be in a World Series or win a World Series. This is the hardest one. I would have to go with...
I'm going to do heckle.
I'd go with, like...
Because then I get to go to a lot of baseball games with friends.
Yeah. I would have to fire Angel Hernandez after
Ooh.
Just because, like, for me, like, the punching down nature and the cringiness to it that it makes me feel...
Well, I know who I'm inviting then.
Like, it would make me feel so awkward.
Angel, this guy hates you. He's my dad. Which one, Angel or this guy? Both. Dad said you have to move out.
Yeah. And again, I think it kind of goes back to there's teams that I favor.
But not necessarily.
And would be disappointed if they didn't win. Like, I wouldn't lose much.
But what about the Boston Braves? Then it's kind of best of both worlds. The Atlanta Braves and Boston Red Sox was what I'm saying. Somehow
like,
they came back
together.
together.
I thought we meant like the Braves when they played in Boston.
No. I was alluding to that, but I was trying to merge them back so that...
But yeah, even still though, like I don't... Maybe if it was Indiana, like where I actually have a legitimate investment.
Yes, he cost the...
Then definitely
whoever
I would heckle
the
Angel
Major League
Hernandez.
Baseball team that is filled with only IU team or IU.
Then I
games.
definitely would heckle Angel Hernandez, and I would follow him to his house
And still heckle him?
and heckle him from his yard at that point. Because, like, for me, I've never been so tied to professional sports teams because, yes, they're from my area, but I don't have a specific connection with them. Whereas I go and I spend 4 years at a university, which I've
Yep.
paid for and actually have a monetary investment in.
And those guys went and saw the same exact things that you saw,
Yeah. So,
even if they went for free.
yeah. Well, not baseball, though.
Right.
They kind of get screwed.
If they're a multi-sport athlete.
That is true. Like, we've had one that played 3 sports that I
A
like.
regular
in
Dave
recent-
Winfield.
Yeah, in recent history, that is.
So next one, since that was, yeah. Would you rather have random people control where you road trip via an internet poll, or via that same internet poll have random people control where you sit at a Major League Baseball game?
I would rather them control where I went, because I kind of like hey, you're going here today.
Yep. Agreed.
It-
And if I want to go to a baseball game, I want to know where I'm going to sit. I don't want to be told, like, you have to go there.
I don't like sitting at baseball games in general.
Oh, sitting, not shitting.
Yeah.
I
I don't like
taking
doing
dumps.
that at baseball games either.
Well, it depends. If it's Angel Hernandez.
He's already shitting on
Flinging.
the like a Harambe.
Does that count as heckling?
You can't heckle with your feces. Because
That's
that turns into assault, brother.
Oh, there's no salt in it. It's all pepper.
No, the salt comes on the other side. The salty nature.
The Brett
Oh.
Phillips area.
I thought of another would you rather question. I gotta kind of think it through my mind,
Okay.
but we'll get there.
Would you rather have the Major League Baseball gold card to get into any game, or have unlimited free nights at a chain hotel?
Now, I need a little bit of help on this. I have a gold card. Like, where does it allow me access to any place in the stadium?
I don't think so. That's what I don't know.
Oh. Should we call somebody to find out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Call your guy with the gold card. What was that person's name before that we were looking up? Oh, Elias. Call
Yes,
Elias.
Elias.
That's why I was leaning towards the chain hotel, because again, I don't want to be controlled or told where to sit,
Yeah.
or have it be like, oh, you're only going to be in the suites. No, like, suites are nice to experience every once in a while, but let me go somewhere nice, not just in a box far away.
Yeah. I'm really on the fence on
Plus,
this one.
chain hotel, in my mind, when I wrote this, I realized that there was an added benefit later, that it doesn't just have to be for baseball road trips. It could just be any road trips.
Yeah, I'd probably go for the hotel.
I think I could save more money using hotels rather than free.
And I
Baseball
think
tickets.
at the end of a day, there's nothing better than like a nice bed
Yep.
and a nice shower, not one that you might have a company showering with you that you didn't invite, or that maybe there's no hot water, or maybe like there's a dick trickle of shower pressure coming out of the head,
Or someone was Doug Fistered in there.
and the remnants was still there.
Would you rather make $10,000 plus by selling Major League Baseball tickets and not being able to go to a game the entire year, or have to pay StubHub prices to see your favorite team win Game 7 of the World Series?
Say it one more time.
Make $10,000 or more by selling your tickets,
Yeah.
but you can't attend a game for a year, or pay StubHub prices to see Game 7 of the World Series for your favorite team. And they win. I'm going to pay StubHub prices, because I've gone a year without baseball and it already sucked. I don't
Yeah.
need another.
Let me ask you this. Okay. Like,
Ask me a question.
I'm gonna ask you. When you say I can't attend a game of my favorite team, and my favorite team will just say
No, not even
any?
of any team.
Okay.
No baseball for an entire year.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna say like my local, like in Atlanta.
Yep.
I don't have to go into the stadium to be able to experience the atmosphere of the
Yep.
game. Am I able to be on the property at all? Because
For this, we will
No.
say yes.
Okay.
You can go anywhere that you don't need a ticket.
Okay. Then I would sell my ticket because I still feel like me being able to experience the atmosphere of the game without actually having to go into the game is still there.
Interesting.
So I would be okay with that.
It started off that we were agreeing a lot, and
Yeah.
now we're diverging, and this is fun,
Yeah.
which shows that these questions might be balanced, or I might be crazy, or you might be crazy.
I hope like it doesn't end up where it ends up in a fight by the end.
Well, I do have my fist out.
Your dog fist out.
I named it Doug.
I hope it's not going where Doug was going to put his fist.
Well, you play your cards right. Would you rather be on a 4-hour flight next to a crying baby,
Oh. No, I don't think we need the other option.
or be on a day-long road trip while the car plays Achy Breaky Heart or Butterfly by Crazy Town on repeat? So basically our least liked song on repeat for an entire 1 day of road trip, or 4 hours of a crying baby.
I would go, and the knob is not on the radio. Like I
Correct.
can't turn it down.
There's no way you can turn it down. There's no way you can change anything.
Mhm.
Same with on the flight, you can't put in earphones
You
or
can't
anything
fall
to block it
asleep.
out. Nope, you're.
What kind of parent does this baby have?
There's no parent. It's just a baby next to you.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I would-
that's why it's even more frustrating because you're like, why and how?
Do I have to take care of this thing?
Does anyone else see this baby? Am I haunted?
I originally wanted to say the car with Achy Breaky Heart or Butterfly. But the more I process, like, I can eventually get away from this baby. And the fact that there's no parent with the baby actually made it better because, like, I wouldn't want the parent to say, it's a baby, what do you expect? Or, like, the parent to be really defensive about the fact that they had a crying baby. I could say, stop crying, baby. Stop crying.
Shut up, baby.
Without like a parent saying, hey, don't talk to my baby that
Or
way.
I'm gonna punt you because it can't understand you. You could say whatever you want to.
Yeah. So I would say the crying baby.
They make food out of you over in Pluto.
It's true.
I'm gonna say the crying baby as well because 4 hours compared to
Potentially 24.
the way that we do road trips in
Yeah.
excess of 24 can happen, and I would lose it. I can probably listen to any song on repeat. We'll go, I think this is even stretching it, but we'll go an hour. But once it gets past that hour point, I probably would not be happy.
No.
Like, even my favorite song, I'd be like, this sucks. So, would you rather see into the future of your favorite team or change one game or one outcome in the past for your favorite team?
I would rather be able to change an outcome.
Which outcome would that be then? That's the bonus question. Mine would be easy. I'd change the outcome of Game 7 of the 1965 World Series because then Twins win. Although that might take away from the 87 and 91 championships. Like, they wouldn't be as special.
Ooh.
Oh no. Nice things can also complicate the future. I'll still go with it.
I would actually change. It wouldn't even be a baseball game. It would be the 2002 NCAA Final Four National Championship game between Indiana and Maryland.
Why?
Because I was at the game and Indiana lost, and I was so disappointed.
Why?
Hold on one moment. Well, because that's the school I went to. But no, I'm gonna change that. It's not gonna be that game. It is an Indiana game,
Oh no.
but it was the Indiana-Oregon State baseball game in the College World Series. Because if that game would have changed, I believe with all of my heart that Indiana would have won the national championship in baseball that year. So I rather would have had Indiana win a national baseball championship than win a
That makes sense.
another basketball championship. So I'm going to go with the 2015, I believe, or 16 College World Series game against Oregon State.
Oh, this one's way too
I think it was
easy.
Oregon State. Maybe it's Texas A&M.
This next one's way too easy. We can answer it, but this isn't going to be the Radish question.
Oh.
We'll have to do two.
Why don't you double up on it?
Yep.
Yeah.
What team moved to DC to become the Washington Nationals?
Oh, okay. We can have a conversation about this because I was at a trivia contest one night, and the trivia person got the question wrong, and I asked him about it, and he was steadfast against it. So it was the Montreal Expos.
Yep. Although technically also not just Montreal, right? Because weren't they
the Puerto
splitting?
Rico Expos at one point that year.
They
too.
were splitting duties between the two.
Duties, yeah. They split their duties between the two.
So, yep. Next question.
Oh,
Who?
sorry. No.
No, good.
The Washington Senators though left Washington
To become which team? And then you're like, yes. Which one?
exactly. And
Was he trying to say the original Washington Senators, or was he?
It was just the Washington Senators. And I answered the question as the Minnesota Twins.
He wanted Rangers?
He wanted the Rangers.
Was this person from Texas? Is that why?
I don't know. And I went to them and I said, "This is a correct answer." He said, "No,
Yeah.
it's not." I said,
Like, that's the original
Yes, it
Washington
is.
Senators franchise, not the replacement franchise. Wow, that's making me
I
mad.
was very upset. And
I'm not even mad because it's shorting the Minnesota Twins.
But
I'm
here's-
mad because it's just more wrong.
But here's the thing about it is my teammate is not a very sports savvy person, and it's my job to get the sports questions right, and it was her job to get the book questions right.
So she thought you were dumb.
Yeah. So
In 1929, what 1929 feat did Lee Richmond perform in a Major League Baseball first? He pitched a perfect game. He stole home. He hit a grand slam. He had an unassisted triple play.
I like this.
I know. We finally got because
Because
I skipped one
Oh.
because it was Cal Ripken Jr. breaking Lou Gehrig's. That was too easy.
I think someone's eating a radish.
Yes.
Should we?
I'm gonna.
Oh, hold on a second. To ensure that we both get different, like, not that we would try this, but like the power of suggestion.
Yep. So
So
it's
we'll do a
1, 2, 3, 4.
Four?
So
Okay.
no. I mean, like,
The answer choices.
the answer is
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll basically do it
Do
like rock paper scissors.
Okay.
So 1,
hold
2,
on.
and then
Okay.
show.
Okay, 1, 2, show.
Yes.
So it's 1, 2, show.
Show.
Not
1, 2, show.
3, show.
Correct.
Gotcha. 1, 2, show. Hold on. Sorry. I just needed the.
Is that not how you
I
do
just
the
wanted to-
motion?
I
You
just-
don't hit the rock on your mouth.
Like
1, 2.
I
show.
just wanted the choices again, so I didn't screw it up.
Pitched
Just let me look at it.
pitched a perfect game.
Okay.
Stole home.
Okay.
Hit a grand slam.
Okay.
Had an unassisted triple play.
Okay.
Fuck. I thought the answer was obvious, and now I'm like, oh no.
1929.
Okay.
Ready?
1, 2, 3.
Shit, that was mine.
Okay.
That was mine. I would not lie about that. Oh
No!
Pitched a perfect game. We're
Till
eating
29?
radishes.
I
yeah.
am so sorry,
I-
Mr. Lee Richmond. I hope that you're not listening to this. And
I forgot how to the 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10.
What number are we going to? Why?
We do half
Mine
of
has
it.
a tail.
Remember?
on it.
Well, no, we can do a whole.
Mine has a tail on it. Should I eat the tail?
Uh-huh.
Should I eat?
You love eating tail.
I don't think I can swallow this.
Why?
Oh God.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, we'll have you do your first one. And actually, we'll have you do 2 this round.
Oh.
Really?
Oh.
These are like a little bit spicy, and I like it. Are you being serious right now?
I don't like this.
I'm like, these are good. And how did he die? At the Radisson.
Oh my God.
You got some spicy ones, and I
It's
like
not
it.
the spice.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I haven't.
No.
The ones up in Minnesota are always just like bland.
They're organic. Oh my God. Oh, I like it.
You're like a little child eating something for the first time. It's okay, buddy. You can't spit it out. Okay, give me 2 before you die. I'm gonna make sure that we get to another impossible question. Who performed the first national anthem naked? Oh, we better go quicker because this is already an hour long.
Oh, wow.
Speed round.
Okay. Is it my question?
Yep, 2 questions from you.
Oh, wow. Would you rather have to pluck 100 hairs from your legs every hour, or put a 9-volt battery on your tongue every hour for 24 straight hours?
Both of them are 24 hours?
Yes. So you're plucking
100 or...
plucking 100 hairs off your leg once an hour for every hour.
I'll do the leg hairs.
Okay.
How about you?
Leg hairs, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, you again.
Okay.
You're doing 2.
Would you rather have one leg longer than the other? Or no? Would you rather have one leg?
Or one penis longer than the other?
Would you rather have... My rash is coming out my nose right now. Would you rather have one leg or one arm longer than the other?
Arm, because it might be good in baseball. More torque.
True.
And you can't run in baseball. Arm, unless it's super noticeably different, isn't going to affect you as much.
Yeah. I'd have to go...
Testicle?
I'd go with my legs, actually. Because
But then you're going to run in circles.
I got the shoe.
Oh, okay. I had like a great uncle who had a shoe because he fell in a gravel pit when he was a child and injured his leg, and it didn't grow as much. Would you rather road trip for the Korean Baseball League and see every stadium, or road trip for the Mexican Baseball League and see every stadium?
Oh, I'd probably go Korean.
Me too.
It seems a little bit safer.
I was just thinking it's a little bit more professional.
Oh.
Would you rather have the Oakland A's become the Las Vegas A's or the Portland A's? Portland.
Oregon?
Yes.
Las Vegas. I like the glitziness of it.
I like the potential for
The Portland
hipsters. Even if they didn't name them the hipsters,
Would they
making the A's be in all flannel wool.
But they wear tight jeans? Like tight
Oh, yeah.
uniform pants?
Yeah. Skinny jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skinny
And
pants.
they would have to wear Doc Martens.
Ooh. Be hard to get around the bases.
Yes, but if they go up for a slide, those suckers have a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Would you rather implement a relegation-based system for Major League Baseball and Minor League Baseball, or would you rather implement a cap on number of players from outside your geographical zone, much like Japanese baseball? So Japanese baseball, you can only have like 4 foreign players or something.
Yeah.
So this geographical zone for Atlanta, it might be Georgia.
And you have to have so many
people that played high school or were born in that area. So like Georgia, Tennessee, and Alabama and South Carolina, for example.
I would go with, like, you have to have so many players from a region, because I think if you're looking to create interest in a team,
Yep.
having local players is probably the easiest /
Yeah.
best way to do that.
Plus, it then actually becomes like
Your
the
hometown.
Atlanta Braves.
Yes, that are
Like-
on the border of Atlanta.
Yeah. Awkward.
On the border of Atlanta Braves.
Would you rather have a Blurns Ball league, that's the Futurama's version of baseball, or have a basketball league?
I'd say a basketball league seems a lot more humorous.
And fun.
Yeah.
You and I could play.
Yeah.
Would you rather be confined to New York City and only attend Yankees or Mets games, or be confined to LA and only attend Dodgers and Angels games?
Oof. I'm really torn on that because I would highly enjoy having nice weather almost all the time. But I think when I look at some of the things that New York City has to offer when it comes to massive different cultures and the foods that go with that, I would go with New York. I think I'm more of an East Coast person as well.
We'll get hold on to that answer. That's me giving away something.
Oh.
Would you rather be confined to Chicago and only attend Cubs and White Sox games, or be confined to the Bay Area and only attend Giants and A's games?
I would say confined to Chicago.
We are just opposite. I am the Bay Area.
Yeah, because I miss snow, and you have an ass full of snow.
How did you notice?
I saw it in your bag.
So then your next question, mine is going to be different than yours. Would you rather be confined to New York or Chicago? And mine is LA or the Bay Area.
And I would go with New York on that for the same reasons as before. So you're a Bay Area or LA? Bay Area Tony or SoCal Tony? OC
We'll go
Tony?
LA then.
The OC Tony?
You sold me on things outside of baseball. I wasn't even thinking of that, so yep. Then, would you rather live on the East Coast or West Coast?
Probably the West Coast. No.
Yeah, you're like, I hate the East Coast now that I think about it.
The thing is though, like, it's a lot harder than that though, because
I'm going West.
I'm probably gonna go West Coast, even though that I wouldn't. If I out of all those choices, I rather would have been confined to the East Coast. There is so much of the West Coast that is so like amazing that.
And also, you haven't experienced it
Yeah.
fully.
Yeah. Like.
I get it.
Yeah.
So kind of go where you're.
Where my heart contents.
Not even that, but like where you're uncomfortable or unknown, because you know.
I want
the
to
East Coast.
still, like, of what I've experienced of the West Coast, I want to explore some of that more.
That's good.
Yeah.
Would you rather make pitches in... Jesus. Would you rather make pitchers hit in both leagues or make the DH universal?
I think I was a opponent of the DH in the National League because I like the uniqueness of the two different leagues. But after last year, seeing the DH in the National League, it didn't bother me as much as I thought it would. So I'm not against there being a universal DH at all.
I'm going to go pitchers hitting because...
We would never have Bartolo Colon hitting a home run.
Yeah. And also, I just like the idea of it going back to tradition rather than creating a new one.
Yeah.
I guess. That is our break.
Let's go out to the lobby. I have radish stuck in the back of my nasal cavity. I just brought it out.
What up-and-coming star player saw his first World Series with the Yankees in 1936 as Babe Ruth's, quote, replacement? DiMaggio, Hubble, Gehrig, or Fitzsimmons?
Gehrig.
I'm going DiMaggio.
Oh, okay.
Eat a radish.
I didn't know what you were really asking there for a second.
Just eat your radish.
That's me eating a radish, not making a movie.
I'll start reading some questions as you have to munch on that. And we can do speed round so that way you can get through it. Would you rather live at a public rest stop for a week or live in airports for a week?
Airport.
Me, airport as well.
What?
Would you rather merge the Carolinas and Dakotas in order for DC and Puerto Rico to become states, or keep all 4 of the Carolinas and Dakotas and not admit any other states? So no changes or merge to get to.
Let's just not make any changes right now.
What? No changes? Own a Major League Baseball team or be the MLB commissioner?
I'd rather own an MLB team so people could hate me, but they really don't know who I am.
I want to be the commissioner because I want to make sure that baseball doesn't screw up things and undo some of the changes that have.
That makes sense too.
Would you rather ballhawk in an ocean outfield that is 6 feet deep, or ballhawk in an open cornfield outfield that is 6 feet high?
The cornfield.
You like running backwards through corn? Is that why?
Because my head is right at 6 feet, so I would have to tread water just to keep my head up. And that would
Agreed.
get tiring.
Would you rather not be able to see color only in grayscale, or hear everything out of pitch?
Hear everything out of pitch.
Then you.
Because I enjoy.
What about music?
But I enjoy nice sunsets and sunrises.
I'm gonna go grayscale.
Mm-hmm.
I like seeing, but if I couldn't hear music.
But would it be? Would you know? Would it be? You'd have to know it differently beforehand.
Right. That's why I'm saying like it's a switch now.
Yeah. I still would rather be able to see everything in color.
Even our voice, it should be like, and you'd be like, what the hell's wrong with this guy?
I can understand what he says.
Do you want to say your two?
I do. And I just came up with one as you were asking me.
Perfect.
Would you rather live in a restroom or a baseball restroom after the 7th inning stretch that did not get cleaned until the next morning?
Rest stops. I feel like they can be bad, but they've gotten a worse name than what they really are.
I would have to go with the rest stop restroom too, because a baseball bathroom at the end of the game is probably one of the most disgusting places on the face of this earth.
Well, at least the men's room. We don't know about the women's.
It's true.
Maybe they're spotless.
And not smearing feces on the wall. My other question is, would you...
How many?
Huh?
How many?
How many what?
Oh,
Questions?
I thought that's what your question is.
No. Would you rather shart every time you farted or pee more than just a little bit every time you sneezed? So every time you farted,
pee, because at least you know it's
sharted.
not going to be stinky and it will eventually dry up. Shart, it just kind of ruins your...
Even if it doesn't come out, you still feel it back there. So I'm gonna have to go pee more than just a little bit.
Yeah.
I would say.
Can I wear Depends?
No.
If I knew that I was gonna pee?
No.
Okay.
It's like a Dixie cup amount of pee.
Yeah, that kind of sucked, but I guess I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Whistling Dixie. Would you rather only eat tacos when taking road trips or only eat pizza when taking road trips?
I'm gonna go with only eat pizza, more so because I don't have a ton of experience with tacos to know,
You just fold them and eat them.
to know how they're different geographically. But I do know enough about pizza. How
Do you like beef in your tacos?
No. No. Like chicken tacos. Not a fish taco.
Not a- Okay. I'm going tacos. Would you rather play Tetris with humans, so human pieces,
Not,
or play Pong with humans as the Pong paddles?
but not human centipede.
No.
No. Okay. No one should play that. I'd rather play Pong. No, I wouldn't. I'd rather play Tetris. Pong is boring.
Tetris would be fun, but then I'm just thinking logistically, if a row gets eliminated, does that mean it would like eliminate your torso? Potentially?
Could be interesting.
Well, at least you're playing it with other humans, not yourself, so kill the other humans, Tetris. Would you rather be a billionaire trapped on your personal island for the rest of your life, but that means you could hire whatever you want to come out there, whoever you want? Or would you rather have a regular life with the ability to travel and vacation as you can afford? So basically have everything in stock or nothing. But
I would want to be the billionaire, but I think after a while I wouldn't want to be just in one place. I would say to travel at will when I could do such.
Agreed. Would you rather have a permanent smelly fart cloud around you, no sounds, or have fart sounds constantly coming from you with no smell?
I'd have to,
Where does this one sound familiar?
I would have to go with the cloud of fart.
I want the sounds. So we're sticking with our original answers up above.
The cloud of fart.
How weird is that though? That both of us came to like that conclusion. Eerie.
We did not consult each other on these.
In fact, we told each other to not do that.
Yes.
Would you rather be fluent in another language or be able to play a musical instrument?
I would rather play a musical instrument because I want to play musical instruments sometimes and I don't know how to do that.
I wanted that originally, but then I'm like, I'm actually going to use a foreign language more.
My thought process, because I originally was going to say that, but then I thought that language could only be used with a specific population of people, whereas if I can play a musical instrument, even if it's in a different language, many
That's
people
true.
that speak that language still know that song.
That's fair.
That's where I was at. That.
No, we both know that.
I hope I get it right. I don't know if I can add another radish. Actually, the second one wasn't as bad as the first one.
Okay. Who is the only pitcher in Major League Baseball to win a World Series game in 3 different decades? Johnny Padres, Bob Welch, Whitey Ford, or Jim Palmer?
Okay. I gotta look at where they come in the order. Okay. Alright, so it's 1, 2, and then show.
Yeah.
Ready?
1, 2, show. Okay, good. We both went with Whitey Ford.
Oh.
And it's Jim Palmer.
That was actually my first guess because that's
I
the
know
name that came to mind.
I was thinking
without hearing the choices.
but
But I was trying to think.
why am I getting?
I didn't know that the
actually
Orioles had played in so many World Series games. And Jim Palmer didn't play for anybody else.
1, 2, 3.
Broken heart.
And he died. Would you rather sell the naming rights to your legal name, so you'd have to become like Subway Olive Garden or something, or would you rather sell ad space via tattoos on your body?
Saw my name.
Me too. Would you rather commit an error but make up for it with a key base hit? Or would you rather make a bad strikeout but make up for it with a web gem in the field?
I would rather make an error but make up with it with a
base hit?
Yeah.
I want to do the web gem. Would you rather see Mike Trout play his entire career against Babe Ruth's competition, or see Babe Ruth play his entire career against Mike Trout's competition?
Babe Ruth playing, because I can fathom Mike Trout playing, but I can't really picture Babe Ruth.
That's kind of why I want him, though, to go back in time, because either way, I feel like it's only going to hurt Babe Ruth. Because either Trout goes back, and at minimum, he's the same player, which means that no harm, no foul to Babe Ruth, but he probably dominates a lot more.
Yeah.
Which makes Babe look terrible, or Babe comes in the future and probably looks more terrible than what he was.
I also would be interested to see Babe Ruth's personality and aura, but also...
Especially having to, like, work out. If you told him, no, you're going to work out, he might not even play baseball then.
But then I also kind of thought when I was thinking that, like, if he's not the same type player, is he as jovial?
Yeah. Would you rather have games end in a tie after 11 innings, or have games settled by a home run derby after 10 innings?
I would rather have games end in a tie, because there's too many like other factors that go into a home run derby.
Yep.
That doesn't put the
Like the ballpark factor.
Ballpark factor. What if,
I mean, home team has a huge advantage whenever they do that because they know how the ballpark.
But what if just whoever's throwing the ball that night doesn't hit the spots that they're trying to throw it to, and now you're putting the game.
It's a
in
pitching
hands.
machine that they bring out.
I still don't like it.
Would you rather come in second on Jeopardy or win on Wheel of Fortune?
I would rather win on Wheel of Fortune.
I'm going to do second in Jeopardy.
I thought about that.
Because it's just more prestigious.
But I don't think you get to keep the money you win.
You get some of the money. I think
Yeah.
like second place gets 2,000 and third place gets 1,000.
But I'd rather be able to come back. Do I get to like shop for a service merchandise gift certificate? Like the old school Wheel of Fortune? Like I can shop for. I'll take the skis for $250.
No.
I would still go Wheel of Fortune. That way I could still come back the next day and play again.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're a wheel watcher. Would you rather get a hole-in-one on a short par 3 or get a 2 on a par 5, which is an albatross?
I would rather get a hole-in-one on a short par 3 because yes, an albatross is probably even more rare than a hole-in-one.
Yep.
There's not as much prestige that goes with it than a
Yes,
hole-in-one.
and it's not even prestige. It's almost more like
Accomplishment.
people don't even recognize it. Like
Yeah.
outside of a hardcore golfer, someone's going to be like, you got a what on a huh? But hole-in-one, everyone knows.
Yes.
How about I will say the next 2 and leave my last one for the final one because it could get interesting.
Oh no.
Would you rather lose your team to contraction or lose your team to relocation to your rival city and state?
I would then just rather be... No, I'd rather them go to another city or state. That way you can keep the personalities together.
Even if it meant being like the New York Red Sox or something like that?
Yeah, because when you lose them to contraction, all those players go other places. But I'd rather keep them together because, like, I think, like, the relationships that they have with each other and the fun that they have playing the game would continue to be there, even though maybe I don't like the city that they went to. But
it wasn't even to a rival, but Twins went through that contraction talk. I'm gonna say let them move because It'd be hypocritical if I didn't, because I had people sign a petition to save the Twins. My penultimate question is, would you rather bring back the Montreal Expos and the Hartford Whalers, or bring back the Providence Grays and the Quebec Nordiques?
I would have to go with the Expos and Whalers.
Just because of the jerseys alone?
That's part of it. And I enjoy, because I like the Nordiques jerseys more than I like the Expos jerseys.
Yep.
But
I'm going to say Providence Grays, just because having, Hartford getting their team back would be interesting, but at least Hartford had a team in the modern age, whereas Providence doesn't have a professional team. It'd be insane for Rhode Island to have a professional team.
I just think, to me, baseball in Montreal is bigger than hockey in Quebec.
Yeah.
For me.
It is.
So.
So I'll let you do your last question or questions. Unless you had none.
Okay, now I have one more.
Okay.
Would you rather be able to hear the thoughts of everyone around you, or everyone could hear your thoughts?
Know people's thoughts.
I thought about that, but I also thought that knowing what people are actually thinking would drive me absolutely insane. Whereas I can control what I think to a degree, but even in trying to control it, I probably
right. They would probably be able to read through and be like, they'd hear, control that you don't think that this person's a complete fucking asshole. They'd be like, I heard that. That doesn't count.
But I think, if you heard what someone that you thought, was a ally to you, but then, in their head, oh, fuck, here comes this person again. That would do more to you, mentally than...
But doesn't that, again, clear house? And you can tell,
That is true, too.
If they're being like that, you can grant them, 1 or 2 days like that, where, everyone has bad days. But if they consistently do that, then you know that...
That is true. I didn't think about that. I was thinking for the immediate moment of this person's reading my thoughts.
Big
right
thinker.
Now.
That's a good question, though.
I don't know what the answer to that really is.
Equally as deep, then.
Oh, no.
This one is... I would have to say that they will probably be writing textbooks about this question and about this conundrum in probably right after this episode drops. Would you rather have dongs as pinkies or have a pinky as a dong? So it works just like penis. It looks and works just like a penis. There's no bones in it. It's just you have 2 penises and they're one on each hand, or you literally have a bone pinky as a penis.
It probably looks like that right now anyways.
Hold on. I'm not even debating size or anything, but do you have bones in your penis? You might want to get that checked. And also, do you not have a hole in it?
I would probably have to go just from a standpoint of what people ask me, why do you have penises on your hands? I would rather have a pinky penis than a penis pinky. Could I wear?
I go back and forth.
Could I wear gloves?
You could, but you also have to worry about what happens when you take those gloves off and you have a dream.
Yeah.
You might have erections as you sleep, and if you put your face...
Oh, no!
You could also have wet dreams with your own hands all of a sudden. Or if you get too excited, people can see that your fingers are going.
What happens when
clapping
you
your hand.
Or you're waving to your friends.
Or what if you clean out your ear with your pinky?
Or what if you're Dr. Evil?
Dude,
no.
So, is that your final answer?
I would have to go with a pinky penis rather than a penis.
I will say that I agree. It'd be interesting to know if women feel differently.
Circle gets the square.
And on that note, it's been one of the longest episodes of At the Gates. Thanks for listening. Tell your friends about the penis dong conundrum and let us know below if you'd rather have the penises as pinkies or your pinky as a penis.
Or any of the questions that we threw out there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. That one.
Keep it safe, kids. Wrap your hands.
Does that mean like you put the little finger condoms on?